11 piers, each one driven down through soil and shattered rock, some reaching 138 feet before touching bedrock. And nearly half of everything built lies buried beneath the Pennsylvania hills, invisible to the eye. That is where the Tunkhannock Viaduct begins. In the early 20th century, American railroads were locked in fierce competition. Speed and tonnage ruled. The Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad connected Scranton, Pennsylvania, with Binghamton, New York. But the route was brutal. Curves, grades, hills that punished locomotives and bled time from every schedule. The answer was the Nicholson Cutoff, a bold engineering project stretching nearly 40 miles across some of the most difficult terrain in the Northeast. To carry this new main line across Tunkhannock Creek and its valley, engineers would have to build something the world had never seen. The man who laid out the bridge's design was Abraham Burton Cohen, chief designer for the DL&DU. The concrete sections were shaped by William Hull Botsford, a Cornell-trained architect whose elegant sensibility gave the structure its commanding proportions. Botsford would never see the bridge rise. He perished in the sinking of the Titanic in April 1912, just weeks before ground was broken. His absence cast a shadow over the project, but the work pressed forward. G.J. Ray served as chief engineer. F.L. Wheaton oversaw construction. C.W. Simpson managed operations on site. The contractor, Flickweir and Bush, put crews to work in May 1912. What followed was an undertaking of staggering scale. Workers excavated more than 13 million cubic yards of earth and rock, all to seat 11 piers on solid bedrock. Concrete poured in enormous quantities. Steel arrived by the ton. When the final counts came in, the bridge had consumed 167,000 cubic yards of concrete and 1,140 short tons of steel. Its total weight, approximately 670 million pounds. The numbers alone do not capture what stands in that Pennsylvania valley. The Tunkhannock Viaduct stretches 2,375 feet from end to end. It rises 240 feet above the creek below and 300 feet above the bedrock that anchors it. When it opened on November 6, 1915, it was the largest concrete structure in the world. A half-century later, engineers still described it as the largest concrete bridge in America, if not the world. The railroad consequences were immediate and measurable. The Nicholson Cutoff saved 3.5 miles of distance. Passenger trains gained 21 minutes. Freight trains saved a full hour. The American Society of Civil Engineers later recognized the bridge not only as a feat of construction, but as a bold reimagining of what a railroad could do, carrying a main line directly across the regional drainage pattern, conquering the landscape rather than surrendering to it. At the time, railroad engineers had almost no experience with reinforced concrete at this scale. They were pioneering in real time. In 1975, the American Society of Civil Engineers designated the Tunkhannock Viaduct a National Historic Civil Engineering Landmark. 2 years later, it was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. In 1990, the National Railway Historical Society placed a plaque on the structure acknowledging its place in the history of American engineering. The bridge did not become a relic. Today it carries regular freight traffic for Norfolk Southern. The trains still roll across those arches, above that creek, above the buried foundations that most passengers will never see. The community of Nicholson has held a Bridge Day celebration every September since 1990. In 2015, 10,000 days after its dedication, they gathered to mark a century. And in June 2026, Union Pacific's Big Boy No. 414, the largest and heaviest steam locomotive still in operation, crossed the viaduct on a coast-to-coast heritage journey, the thunder of its engine echoing off the same concrete arches poured by men who had never built anything like this before. Some structures outlast the organizations that built them. Some outlast the very era that imagined them. The Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad is gone. The engineers who drew those plans are gone. But across Tunkhannock Creek, in a quiet valley in northeastern Pennsylvania, the bridge endures, carrying weight, carrying history, carrying us forward. If you found this history worth knowing, subscribe for more stories of human ambition in steel, stone, and concrete.